Hello and welcome back to another episode of Space Engineers. It's been a little bit. I've been working on doing Space Engineers for the Xbox, trying to get those out as much as possible. But, also, just, life. But let's get into it. In the last episode, we created this clang-tastic, expandable, extendable solar tower. And I am super happy with this design. It makes me just feeling good inside. And what I want to do today is expand upon it. I want to put a cap on this thing, quite literally, so that it is protected from all various forms of stuff, in case an enemy wants to come around and shoot at it. They won't. And then have a one-button method for extending and retracting this entire setup. So I can just hit a button, and then things will happen with a succession of timers to kick ass. But we have the sun coming up, and we want to use the panels to do solar things. And I set up a few things off camera just to get them going. As we pop down here, added a bit more flooring so that way I can walk around a bit. We're still leaving some holes because reasons. And we've added a whole bunch of timer blocks as well as a single programmable block. In the programmable block, we have the solar tracking script by Izzy, but it is currently off for very good reasons because it's in dock mode right now. I don't want to have this thing rotating around while it's in the dock. That would be silly. So, we are going to have a series of timers. I'm not sure how many I need. I just sort of threw some in here in order to have a one button activate timer 1, and it'll go down the chain, each doing a different action in order to retract or extend this appropriately. And these are all appropriately named. So we have timer solar retract 1, solar retract 2, and going down the line. So I just got a little bit of that little finicky work out of the way. But first, let's take a look at what I think would be a good way to do this cover. And this is an easy way to do it. I was trying to think of ways that I could have all sorts of clangy contraptions and put it all together, but I'm just this thing is clang enough in one spot. I just make a super simple rotation thing here. So we're just gonna slap a rotor down here, and that's essentially it. We're gonna give that rotor a corner on top of it, and then just run slopes all the way around, like so. And then when we get to these corners, we'll put the corner, and I've put the inverted corner there so it all looks pretty. And we just keep running these around. And with editing magic, we can finish that off instantaneously. Ah, editing. So nice. And then, all we can do with this thing is we'll set it to have a lower limit of 0, which is where it is right now, an upper limit of 90 degrees, which is very easy to set there, and then if we turn the velocity up, this whole thing, which of course will fill in, will just rotate out of the way and unveil the solar panels, and it'll just click in right here. Easy peasy. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to work sometimes. I don't have to make the absolute clangy thing like the spinning reactor and stuff like that. Sometimes it just needs to work. I will go through and fill this thing up with armor blocks. Possibly give it some sort of a pattern here, maybe with some armor blocks and some windows, so you can see through it. Who knows? Or we just give it some nice armor blocks as a nice little cap, but this will be fine for now, for at least representing what we need it to do. So this rover, I'm calling it a rover, rotor here, is going to be solar tower cover. Yes. And we can go and put it back into place by just hitting reverse. And it shall go and cover over the solar tower and protect it. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so I've already got the retraction somewhat set up as I was experimenting with this, but we need to do the extension, and we have to think about this in order. So if I'm going to automate this to be a one-button extend, I'm going to have to do things. Okay, so first off, the first one will move the cover out of the way. Like, hopefully that's obvious that we need to move the cover. So, solar extend 1, we're going to set up actions, and the first thing we'll do is we'll go to extend 2 and add it to the end so that we're starting the chain. Then we'll go to the cover, and we'll reverse. Very simple. This one can start immediately, and then we have to think about how long that's going to take. So, I don't want to start extending this out until that's fully reversed out of the way. So why don't we just go and take a look how that'll work? I mean, logically, if this is going at 1 RPM and I need it to do a quarter turn, it's going to take 15 seconds, right? And I should be able to do, like, check that. So, reversing in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-ish. Yeah, I mean, with just me counting, yeah. So 15 seconds is correct. But just for safety's sake, let's set the next one to 20. So that way we have a 5-second gap after the thing has opened up and we are ready to go. So now, solar extend 2. What is the next action? Well, we need to get extend 3, call that, start, and then think about what's the next thing to do. We need to extend the tower out. So we need to go to our solar tower and extend. Alright, so with that, everything should be clear, right? We're good to extend? Yes, we are. We can reverse and extend it out. Now this is about 5 seconds so far, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 seconds or so until it clears the thing here. But again, we can give this maybe like 20 seconds to start to extend. Oh, geez, little freeze there. Edit that out. And so that was 2. And now we move on to 3, which will need to be 20 seconds for allow that thing to extend out enough. And we need to then set up actions, get to extend 4, start, and then we're going to need to go for the rotors. Now, when it's down in the pit here, I've locked the rotors. So, there's 2 different sets of rotors. There's the Solar Tower Master, which is, if I fly up there, is the large rotors. These guys right now are actually locked. So that way they're safe and they won't move around while we are down in the storage. So, we're going to want Solar Tower Master to switch lock, which will turn their lock off, allow them to move, and Solar Tower Driving, which is the ones that move the individual little solar panels, to turn... Wait, no, not turn off their lock yet. No, that's not right yet. So you want to turn off the lock of these things. Oh, am I getting ahead of myself? Am I? Do I need to undo these yet? No, I should leave these locked up so far. What I should do is I should... My driving ones, I should reverse them. And my solar panel arms, reverse them. Because that would be the next thing to do. So I've raised it up. I don't need it spinning yet. I can just extend my arms. So from there, solar panel arms and such will unlock. And if I look up here, if I press these at both at the same time, this should function appropriately. Yes, that works. Yes. So now, I give those... ooh, they're going to need longer. I set these at half a rotation per minute. And they're going approximately... Oh god, that's a little bit of shake. Clang is possibly being summoned. So they have to rotate essentially 90 degrees. It's like 80 something, but it's 90 degrees, just for math. And it's going at half. So it's going to take them a full 30 seconds to do that. So I want to make sure I'll give them a good 30-35 seconds in order to fully deploy. So that is number 3, deploy the solar tower. Okay, now number 4 here is calling number 5. It needs a good 35 seconds, so it's gonna wait while those fully deploy. Then I can switch all of my rotor locks. So the solar tower master will unlock, and the solar tower driving, the little ones, will lock. So that way it's a little bit nicer when you are dealing with moving the tower around. But now everything is extended, everything's locked up, so it's nice and firm for the tower to move around. The main large rotors are unlocked so that they can move. In the next one, we can go and call number 6. I'm not sure if we'll need all of these, but might as well call it. And then we should be able to just turn on the solar tracking script. Yeah, that should be it. So this block would be switching these and calling the next one. This one can happen essentially instantaneously after that, because it's just turning on the script for it to function. So I could trigger now. That'll trigger that, turn on the script, and things should start tracking the sun. If I didn't screw things on. It's doing it. Izzy script is functioning, it seems. This stuff is extended. We are starting to rotate ever so slowly. Make sure these things are actually unlocked. Rotor lock is off. Rotor lock is off. We're all good there. Block is on as well. Rotor lock is off. Excellent. And rotor lock is on. Good. So these things won't move. So now it is slowly trying to figure out where the sun is, and it'll do its thing. And then we're fully deployed. And that's it. We're nice and deployed. So I didn't need to use all of these timer blocks. Where did I end up? So let me double check this. Open the cover. Extend the tower. extend the individual panels, switch locks on all of our rotors, activate the tracking. Bloody beautiful. Alright, so then I am done here after I activate tracking. And then I can just cut down the rest of these, as you are not needed. Now, I'm assuming if you really wanted to, you could have like a roof that came back somewhat to recover the hole, but whatever. I want to have this nice and open. So then, I've already got this somewhat set up, going back down. And also, I'm using this portion of the script here, which is... Where is it? It's the... Go back to... Where is it? Ah, here it is. Rotate to sunrise. So, rotate the panels towards sunrise during the night. Yes or no? So we do want that. However, we're going to override sunrise with a manual angle, and we're going to just set it as 0, 0. So that way, when the sun goes down, it'll automatically click back into place where it could be stowed away, because it would be at the right angle to do so. I mean, realistically, I'll probably just leave this thing up and spinning and getting me power, because why not? But if I need to at night, I can just pack it away. Now, I don't really have a setup where I can just say, oh, I'm going to pack it away in an emergency, because then I'd have to sort of quickly snap that back to 0. I'm not sure how I can do that. However, at least at night, it's really easy to pack away now, because it'll be properly aligned as it just came out. Okay, so now that we have the one button extend by calling this first timer, we can do the exact same over here in reverse. So the first thing, we can, I tried to set up a few things here, but we can spread these out, because why not? We're going to toggle the block off for the solar tracking. We just want to stop tracking. We got it in position. Ugh, another little freeze I need to edit out. Eventually, one day, they won't freeze. Maybe after I, not remove entire mountainsides. But, so, first thing we'll do, we'll turn the tracking off. Then we'll move on to retract. 2. Now, we will reverse our rotors and our arms to pull the solar panels back into their storage position, and then we'll go on to number 3. We will then pull the whole thing down. Maybe I should do the rotor locking right now. Yeah, that's what should be this step. So driving and master, change those locks. That's what we should do. And then this one, we'll pull the whole thing down. Retract. Then once it gets back down all the way, we call for, that's the solar cover, to reverse. Now I just got to check my timings for these. So for the first side, I got to do this in reverse. So I gave no time for that. 20 seconds for the cover, which doesn't matter because the cover is the last thing. So who cares about the cover? Which is right here as well. So I don't need things after this one. There we go. Nice and clean. 5 timers on either side. So yeah, I have to mirror my timings over. I have to think about which one I gave how much time and then give the exact same amount of time over there so that it, doesn't bind itself up when it's trying to get put away. So for retracting and extending the thing, I gave it what? Now, I only gave it 20 seconds because I was only concerned about it clearing this. Ooh, I might want to think about how long it actually takes to fully extend this and not screw around with that kind of thing. Because I want to make sure that this gets fully retracted. So if this is 35 and it's going at a velocity of 1, it's going to need 35 seconds, right? So I should probably give it like 40-45 seconds just to be careful here. I should do that on this side as well. Oh, geez, bouncing around. So, because this one then triggers this one, and this will wait, let's say, 45 seconds. Okay, so that's a little safer. So when we trigger the... Which one is it? Oh, it's got to be this one here. Yes, this one. We want to wait after it 45 seconds before we put the roof on. That's what we want to do. Wait 45 seconds before we close the roof. So that way we're sure that it's retracted all the way down. Now, before we start retracting all the way down, we want to make sure that we have gotten... So there's 10 seconds of wait for the locking. That's fine. And this is only 20 seconds of wait for the extending of the arms and such. Which, how long was I waiting on this side for the extending of the arms? I was waiting 35 seconds. So I should give those extension of the arms a little more time here. Let's give them the 35 seconds they need. I think we're good. I think we're fully set up. So realistically, I should be able to jump into this thing and go to my timer. Timer for my solar extend. Plop that down, say it there. And solar retract one. Plop that down there. And in a perfect world, I should be able to do that with one button. The thing is currently tracking the sun, but let us go and do a little bit of a test here. Let's just turn this off so that it isn't playing around with those rotors anymore. And let's go and manually set these rotors back to 0 here. I do have 65 for these limits. I will get it close. If it's like 1 degree off, it'll be fine. But I believe, with this build vision, I can do awesome things. Boom. 0. Wonderful. Excellent. And then for this, and we just need to... Oh god, its velocity is some weird-ass number. The script was moving it around at that perfect moment. Solar... rotor... there it is, base. And its velocity was some weird number. Don't move anymore. Thank you. And your velocity is actually 0. Very good. Okay, so now I just need to move this one back until it's on one of those 90-degree angles. It doesn't really matter which one, as long as it's at a 90, because then it will fit. So then just back to 0 super quick. And here we go, at 0. Now this would be where it would sit when the sun goes down, because the script will automatically return it to 0, 0. So it should be, if I've set things up correctly, I hope I have. It's a good thing the game just saved there, because whatever. Let's go, and extend is here, retract is here. press 9. Let's see what happens. So that one's flashing. We've probably done our rotor locks, right? We turned off the script. This rotor lock should flip soon. Right? Come on, script. Come on, little things. Are you on to the next one? This one is waiting, and it's 10 seconds until we pull our little things back in. Our locks are on, though. Oh, no! Oh, God! Stop the script! We screwed something up. Stop. Solar arms, reverse, go back out. Oh god. Okay, where did I screw up? What step did I not do? Turning the tracker off. Yes. I then needed to... Oh, I need to reverse my locks before I do this thing. I need to put my reversing locks here. Oh god, a good thing I'm testing this thing. So, solar, tower master, rotor lock, and tower driving, rotor lock. Okay, and then here we do the arms retract and the driving reverse. Okay, so I gotta also flip around the timings for those. So this had 35 seconds. You know, whatever, I can leave it at 35 seconds, but this needs its... does this need its times increased? I don't know. I forget things. No. Before I pull it back down, I need to give it time. Here is where it needs to be 35 seconds. Oh. These can go relatively quick, because all we're doing here is turning this thing on. So this can just like go immediately. And then we're just switching rotors. So this can go immediately. No need to wait. Oh! The fuck? An unknown signal just crashed down right beside me. God, that made me jump. What the hell, unknown signal? Why you do this? Why are you here? Oh god. It's knocking me down the hill. Will you stop? Fine. You just do your thing. I'm gonna go back to working on my tower. Oh man, I thought the tower had exploded. I was scared for a moment. Okay, back to this. Again, these ones, just turning that off. Don't need to wait for that. This is just flipping these rotors. No need to wait for that. This one, we no need to wait at the beginning of this, because we can just start this immediately. But need to wait at the end of it. We need to wait the 35 seconds before we retract that. And then here, we need to wait the 45 before that retracts. Okay. Okay. Maybe now we are ready to rock. And I kind of want to put this on a button panel. So that, you know, I can just press a button. But I need an interior plate, so... Boop. Oh, God, I love all my mods. Ah, if it wasn't for all these mods. Dear God. And just let it build. Yeah, there you go. So, extend and retract. There we go. So extend and retract. So now this should work properly, if things are correct, because everything should be still set up properly. All right. Let's see. Well, tiny little freeze there, but retract one. Start. So it should be Why? Why you no doing? Why you screw up still? Stop. What did I do wrong? Are these still locked? No, your rotor lock is off. Why aren't you working? Okay. Let's check this again. Turn off the solar tracking. Solar tower master. We've turned on their things. We've turned off there for the driving. That is correct. Solar tower driving. This should be reverse. I'm so confused. Why is that not functioning? Ah. Okay, it works from here. I need to reset those rotor settings though. Driving and master. Locked and unlocked. Because this is where the Stadia would be if it was sitting there ready to go. Okay, so why are you not functioning, you piece of crud? Start. Okay. Now are you working? Now you're working. Okay. I was something with the setting there. I just didn't like it. And again, Clang, attempting to be summoned, but will not be summoned because I am the master of Clang. Now that should be enough time to get that fully in place. Alright, everything is in position. Then it should start sucking this thing back down. Very good. And now this guy, I'm gonna stand here on standby just in case I need to screw with this guy's velocity, in case he starts rotating in too quickly here. But we should be good. That one is waiting 45 seconds. If we get it fully inside. Click. And now this can trigger any time here. So that's about like 4 or 5 seconds afterwards. 7, 8, 9. About 10 seconds of leeway. And then the lid goes over top. Katonk. And it's covered. So now, if I've done this correctly, and save, in case, if I press extend, it should work. Lid moving out of the way. Giving it its sweet time. I'll go and clear my screen here so we got a nice view of it. A few extra seconds there. Make sure there's enough time in between these. Extend out the tower. And now here, we essentially don't care much after this. We can start everything else up before this is fully extended, because it's cleared the tower. That's all that really matters. But a few seconds here, we should hopefully, come on, start. There we go. We're moving down. It has begun. And we give it time to fully extend out and deploy. And then it will give us a little shimmy. Throw us off because it doesn't like us standing there. And then it should lock up everything. These guys should be unlocked. And these guys should be locked. Yep, their rotor lock is on. And we're tracking the sun. Ah, yes! Alright. One button press solar extendable tower. And that's it. We've done it. We have automated this thing to be beautiful. And now we have 36 solar panels. I mean, realistically, it's not a whole bunch of power, but it was more the fact of doing it. Having fun with it in creating this thing rather than, you know, getting a bunch of solar power. I could have made just a huge tower. Easy peasy. No work at all. You know, this took me freaking days. Okay. Well, that's done. All I gotta do now is we gotta fill in these holes here, as there are some gaps that little baddies could squeeze through if they wanted to. It's not much of a covered up thing if baddies can get in. And also fill in this, which is gonna be pretty easy. But next time, what shall we be doing? Now that I have some power, will probably dig out a room adjacent to this down at the bottom of this shaft. Alright, so that'll build up. So down, way down here, as I go into free fall. Okay, I must have hit a little hard. We will dig out, say, like right here, and just dig out a room and just fill it with batteries. And this will just be a battery area. So you drive by here and it'll be like battery storage, and there'll be a gate, and you can just drive in there and it'll just be a big ton of batteries. And the solar tower will be like solar tower going up. And then just like, oh, I know what I can do. I can do like a ladder the entire way up. One giant ladder. That'll be perfect. But once I have that, we can create all sorts of industry. And I'm gonna do some industry right out here, because there is it a factory? Oh, what did the guy call it? I can't remember. But there is a base that he made. Somebody in my Discord. Where is it? Through all of my random bullshit that I have in my blueprints. No, these are just all my blueprints. Okay. But there's a giant factory that he built, and I want to build it. And you can see that I've been working on the highway over there. Essentially what I want to do is I want to cut the highway down to there. And what we got here? Get my crosshair back. Take the highway from there all the way to there. Then go down to what will be sort of like the ground level there. Build the factory right there. And then take the highway over and then link it up with here. And to do that, I have actually, because after testing it for a while, I found that these light armor slopes 2x1 are a little too steep for rovers, especially large rovers. So I got additional armor stuff, armor ramps, and these 4x1s are beautiful. So I'll do 4x1 slopes out of here to get to whatever will be ground level in this area, and then move along move that highway back through to over there. And then because I'm going to do that, I'll be able to run a conveyor tube all the way there. It'll be beautiful. And then I can connect all that stuff up. Ah, glorious. It's interesting to fly back here. No, there we go. And see that as one giant grid that we've been working on. We're going to loop around this entire mountain with highway. But that is going to be it for now. We have fully automated our retraction and extension of our deployable solar tower. And it is beautiful. Well, thanks for watching. And good hunting out there, fellow space engineers.